Hello and welcome to the channel. You're watching Bring Me Home, videos designed to focus on people who have been missing for over a year, who disappear under questionable circumstances, about whose disappearance little information or details are available, and about whom no new information has surfaced since the time of or close to the time of their disappearance. These videos are designed to keep them in the forefront of our minds and in our thoughts because if we're thinking about them, we will be looking for them. On November 22nd, 2019, 35-year-old Amber Aiaz, also known as Wei Yi Wu, and her 13-year-old daughter, Melissa Fu, went missing from their Irvine, California apartment. On the day that Amber and Melissa went missing, Melissa had been home with Chang Zhang, the husband of Amber and the stepfather of Melissa. Chang told authorities at about 4:30 p.m. he heard a knock on the door. When he opened the door, he was faced with two people he did not recognize, a man and a woman. He said that the woman had something in her right hand. He said that he felt something wet and misty on his face and that he collapsed unconscious. He says that when he woke up a few hours later, he discovered bloodstains on the carpet and a bloody handprint on the kitchen wall. He also discovered that his 13-year-old stepdaughter, Melissa, was missing. He noted that his wife, Amber, was nowhere to be found, although she should have made it home by now. Neither Amber nor Melissa has been seen since this day. Chang says that he found a white piece of paper with Chinese handwriting on it. The note said that Melissa and Amber were okay and that they would be home in a few days, but only if Chang followed the instructions in the note, the first being not to contact the police. They said that if he did, he would never see his wife or stepdaughter again. So, Chang followed the instructions on the note. He was told to clean up the apartment and afterward to just act normally until Melissa and Amber returned. After the disappearance, Chang went about carried on acting normally for the next week. In the process of his cleanup and following the instructions in the note, he cut out a patch of carpet that was bloody and he replaced it. He painted over the bloody handprint on the wall. He went on to his wife's social media account on WeChat and pretended to be her. He also called his stepdaughter's school and informed them that she was sick and would be at home. Chang found his wife's Ford Explorer parked where she usually parked, in the parking lot of the apartment complex. The SUV was filled with the produce that she was bringing from Las Vegas. Chang says that during the days after the disappearance, that he would sometimes find notes slipped under his door. The notes would tell him that he was doing fine and that he would see Amber and Melissa soon, to just keep behaving normally as he had been. 5 days after the abduction, he got a fifth note. This note again informed him that his wife and stepdaughter were fine, but it told him that he needed to leave town for 2 days. So Chang went to Las Vegas, stayed with a relative, and returned after 2 days. When Chang returned home, he found a sixth and final note. This note told him that everything was fine, told him to clean the apartment again, and that he would see Amber and Melissa in just a few days. When a few days had passed and he had not received any further notes, and his wife and stepdaughter had not reappeared, Chang finally went to the police. This was on December 2nd, 10 days after the last time he had seen his wife and stepdaughter. The authorities, of course, were very skeptical of his wild tale of a kidnapping at first, and of all the things that he says he did afterward. But they opened an intense investigation. They interviewed and grilled him for over 40 hours. They put him on 24-hour, round-the-clock surveillance for 44 days. In the course of the investigation, authorities could not find anything to disprove Chang's story. And as a matter of fact, everything they encountered leaned toward that Chang was telling the truth. Chang didn't behave suspiciously during the time he was under surveillance. He directed the police to where they could find the physical evidence that he had tried to destroy. He had thrown out the carpet, so that was unavailable, but the crime scene investigators were able to find blood on the padding underneath where that carpet patch had been, and they believed that the blood they found belonged to Amber. When investigators looked into different types of sprays and chemicals that could be used to knock someone out instantly, the way that Chang had described, they did find an anesthetic drug that matched the description and would have done exactly what Chang said had been done to him. Chang gave a description of the abductors. He said that they were both in their 40s and both apparently of Chinese descent. He said that the woman was 5 feet 8 inches tall with an average build, black hair, had it pulled back in a bun. That the man was about 5'10", weighed about 190 pounds, with an average build and short black hair. And he believes they were driving a black Cadillac, although the year and model are not publicized or not known. Now, before they disappeared, Melissa had been in the habit of speaking to her grandmother daily. Her grandmother says that she has not heard from Melissa since the day they were last seen at the apartment in Irvine, California. Amber has not touched either her American bank accounts or her Chinese bank accounts since before they went missing. And the passports for both the mother and the daughter were left behind in the apartment. There's no record of either of them ever having entered China since the day that they disappeared. Now, the interesting part here is that investigators believe they have found a motive for these two disappearances. Apparently, Amber was of the habit of lying about her wealth. She had Chang convinced that she was an extremely wealthy woman with millions of dollars tucked away in investments and hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash. He was shocked to find out, and he only found this out after they went missing. He was shocked to find out that none of this was true. Now, it's possible, according to the investigators' theory for a motive, that Amber had not only been lying to Chang about her wealth, but had also been lying to others, and that deception may have landed her in debt, a great deal of debt, with the wrong people, and that those wrong people are responsible for the disappearance of Amber and her daughter, Melissa. This case remains unsolved, although authorities are still investigating it as possible kidnappings. The newest update that I could find, the newest official update that I could find, is from the Irvine Police Department. It was posted on December 4th, 2019, 12 days after the disappearance. And it reads, Irvine Police seek public's help in locating missing persons. Irvine, California, December 4th, 2019. The Irvine Police Department is seeking the public's help in locating two missing persons. Amber Aiaz, aka Mei Yi Wu, 34, and her daughter, Melissa Fu, 12, were last seen on Friday, November the 22nd at their residence located in the area of Michelson and University in Irvine. Amber Aiaz is 5 feet 9 inches tall, 180 pounds, with medium length black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a black shirt, black vest, fitted black pants with white writing, and light colored shoes. Melissa Fu is 5 feet 11, 200 pounds, with medium length dark brown hair, brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a black tracksuit. The circumstances surrounding their disappearance is under investigation. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Irvine Police Department tip line at 949-724-7394. That is from the Irvine Police Department Facebook page, a press release submitted 2 days after Chang reported his wife and stepdaughter missing. Other contact information, if you have tips, is the Los Angeles FBI Field Office, which you can reach at 310-477-6565. There is a $10,000 reward for which you may possibly be eligible if you have information leading to the missing mother and daughter. You can also submit tips anonymously online or to your local FBI field office. That is the story of Melissa Aiaz. Amber Aiaz and Melissa Fu. I want to stop here to note that in the comments, I got to thinking, someone pointed out something that could be very helpful in locating these two ladies. They pointed out that these two ladies are rather tall for Asian women. So I looked up the data and I found on worlddata.info that the average height for Asian females is between 5'1" on the low end to 5'3¾" on the high end, which would make both of these ladies at least 6 inches taller than the average Asian female, and in the case of Melissa, it would make her 8 inches taller than the average Asian female. The numbers that I found on this website, in the footnotes, it reads, all sizes and weights are based on a summary of scientific studies evaluated by the NCD Risk Factor Collaboration and published in the medical journal, The Lancet. The Lancet is a well-known, long-standing, reliable medical journal. So I will venture to say that these statistics are accurate and that the sheer height of these two women compared to other Asian females may be a helpful factor in noticing them in a crowd. Please keep your eyes open if you see them. or believe that you have seen them or know anything about how to locate them or what happened to them, you can find contact information for various law enforcement agencies involved in the search and investigation in the description for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.